The Kraft Foods Company presents Willard Waterman as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you, partially transcribed, by the Kraft Foods Company. Are you using the new salad and cooking oil that was perfected in salad dressing headquarters? It's Kraft oil, the most wonderful oil ever created for homemade salad dressings, for fine baking, and for frying. An exclusive Kraft process gives Kraft oil a lighter body, and that's why it's different from ordinary oils. Kraft oil blends faster and better with the other ingredients any recipe calls for. Get a bottle of lighter-bodied Kraft oil when you're shopping tomorrow. Well, for a number of years now, the Great Gildersleeve has enjoyed his position as City Water Commissioner. It carries a certain dignity and wields a certain influence. All in all, it's a happy situation, and the Great Gildersleeve will go to great lengths to preserve it.
Hey, Unc, why did you want me down here at the office this afternoon?
Leroy, there's a lot to be done. The mayor said he'd be in before closing time, and we want to be on the ball.
I don't get it.
It looks good to have a relative working in the office who isn't on the payroll.
Gosh, I could be out playing basketball.
You can do this for your old uncle. The mayor likes to see a busy office.
What'll I do?
You can stuff the water bills in the envelopes and lick the stamps.
Before dinner?
Leroy, use a sponge.
Okay, right after I type a letter to our dog.
Yes.
You know, Unc, we ought to name that dog. I'm writing him a letter, and I don't even know who to send it to.
If you have anything to tell the dog, phone him. I wouldn't want the mayor to come in and catch you wasting water department stationery on a Great Dane.
Well, I'll just write one page. Dear dog.
Leroy, cut out the monkey shines.
This is dog shines.
Well, get that out of the typewriter. I don't want the mayor to see it.
Okay. Unc, why are you so afraid of the mayor?
I'm not afraid of him. I respect him. He's my boss.
And he can cut off your water, huh?
Young man, I'm the one who cuts off the water around here. I mind my business, and he minds his. Why, the mayor wouldn't dare to... Hello, Mr. Mayor.
Hello, Gildersleeve.
Mayor Twilliger, you know my nephew, Leroy.
Oh, yes. Hello, Leroy.
Hi.
Having fun playing with the city typewriter?
Yeah.
Leroy's just down here helping me, Mr. Mayor. A lot to do, you know.
Oh?
He's sending out statements to the customers.
Is this one here? Dear dog. Well, Gildersleeve, I knew the water department had a lot of new consumers, but I didn't know we had any dogs on the books.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor. Leroy was just writing a note to our Great Dane.
Oh. Gildersleeve, you've never been to my house, have you?
No, I haven't. I've driven past it, but I've never gotten inside.
Well, I'd like to have you come over next Saturday night.
Me?
I'm giving a Valentine's Day party to a very select group.
Oh.
Besides our friends, Mrs. Terwilliger and I always invite a city official.
Well.
This year, it's your turn.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You may bring somebody if you wish.
How about me, Unc?
Leroy, he means bring a girl. A lady. Don't you, Mr. Mayor?
Naturally.
Shall I dress?
Black tie.
Black tie? Is that all you're going to wear?
Leroy. Imagine being invited to the mayor's. By George, Gildersleeve, you're getting up in the world. You think I'll drop in and tell Peavy about it? Hello, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you today?
Peavy, I just had a long talk with the mayor.
Called you on the carpet, did he?
Not at all. As a matter of fact, he wants the water commissioner to come to his home.
Something wrong with the plumbing?
Peavy, stop it. He invited me to a Valentine party.
Valentine? My.
It's going to be quite an affair, Peavy. A lot of important people will be there. And only one city official. Me.
You don't say.
Yeah. The mayor says I can bring anybody I want. Of course, that presents a problem.
Nobody wants to go with you.
Anybody would jump at the opportunity to go. But I don't know whether to ask Grace Tuttle or Leela Ransom.
Well, that is quite a decision to make.
Peavy, whom would you take?
I'd take Mrs. Peavy. I'd have to.
Oh, my goodness. Put yourself in my shoes.
Very well.
Now, you've worked for the mayor for 11 years, and he's never invited you to one of his parties.
Stuffed shirt.
But at last he invites you. Who would you take?
I'd take a baseball bat and hit him right across the chops.
Peavy, I'm serious.
So am I, this stuck-up little powder pigeon.
No, Fred. Will you lay off the mayor and help me with my problem?
Well, seriously, Mr. Gildersleeve, I'd find it difficult to choose between Mrs. Ransom and Miss Tuttle.
Yeah, they're both very attractive.
Yes, indeed.
They both dress well. They're both good dancers.
I'm sure they are.
Of course, Grace is more reserved.
Yes.
Well, Leela is more the sentimental and romantic type.
I'm here to tell you.
You know how she comes in here, chucks you under the chin and says, "Hello, Mr. Peavy, you cute little old man, you."
Mr. Gildersleeve, if I were you, I'd say tut-tut to Tuttle and run for Ransom.
Hello, Leroy.
Hi, Unc.
That you, Miss Gildersleeve?
Yes, Bertie.
If I'd known you'd come home so soon, I'd have rolled out the red carpet.
What's this?
Leroy told me about you getting invited to the mayor.
Well,
Yes, sir. The water commissioner's gonna make a big splash.
yeah. I guess I better phone and rent that same tuxedo I had New Year's Eve.
Yes, if it's a big party, you better phone before all the stylish stouts are gone.
Yeah, but first I have to decide about my date. I'm weighing Miss Tuttle and Mrs. Ransom carefully.
How much do they weigh?
Leroy, I'm trying to decide which one I should take to the party.
Well, you can't go wrong with either one.
Yeah, that's true, Bertie. I think Leela might be a little more fun.
That Miss Ransom can sure liven up a party.
Yeah, she has a lot of spirit.
Remember the going-away party you gave her and she saved it by dancing to Charleston?
No, Bertie, I wouldn't say she saved it. She certainly made it interesting.
Yes, sir.
You know, Leela might be a little too lively for the mayor and his wife.
Well, I don't know. The mayor hires some pretty snazzy-looking secretaries.
That's business, Leroy. Well, it is. The mayor is strictly business. And looking at it from all angles, Miss Tuttle might be the one to take to the mayor's party. What do you think, Bertie?
Mr. Gildersleeve, you can't miss if you just shut your eyes and grab.
Well, this is no grab bag, Bertie. Yeah, I think I'll call Grace right now.
Yes, sir.
It won't hurt to take a level-headed girl. Show the mayor I have my feet on the ground. As far as Leela's concerned, she doesn't even have to know I'm going to the party.
Hello?
Grace, this is Throckmorton.
Oh, yes, Throckmorton.
I don't suppose anybody's asked you to a Valentine's party.
Just how do you mean that?
What I mean is, if you're not busy Saturday evening, are you?
Well, a long line is already forming in front of my door, but what do you have in mind? Perhaps I can move you up.
Well, the mayor has honored me with an invitation to his home. I'd like to have you go with me.
That's wonderful, Throckmorton. I'd love to. You're very sweet to think of me.
Well, I've given it a lot of thought.
It's formal, I hope.
Yes, indeed. Very.
I'm just dying to wear an evening dress again.
Yeah, I like to wear them, too. Yeah, tuxedo, I mean. Let's say I pick you up around 7 Saturday.
I'll be ready. Oh, this is so exciting.
Glad you're looking forward to it. Goodbye, Grace.
Goodbye, Throckmorton.
You all set with Miss Tuttle, Unc?
Yep. Glad I called her. Being a school teacher, she'll fit right in with the Tony people the mayor will invite. She has dignity, poise, charm.
Yeah, and if the party starts dying, you can send for Mrs. Ransom to come to the Charleston.
Leroy. Right, George, I've got a lot of work to do today. Before I clear the desk, I think I'll see what's in the morning paper. Well, here's a big announcement of the mayor's party. Summerfield's elite anticipating Mayor Terwilliger's dinner dance. Say, it's a pretty important shindig. Gets a write-up before it happens. Let's see. They haven't listed the guests.
Throckmorton?
Uh-oh. It's Leela.
Throckmorton, are you in there?
Come in, Leela. I wonder if she read about the party and came down here for a reason.
Good morning, Throckmorton.
Hello, Leela. Aren't you out a little early this morning?
Well, I had some shopping to do.
Yeah, but the stores aren't open.
Well, I know you won't mind if I wait here until they are.
Oh, no. Delighted to see you. Sit down.
Oh, thank you. I see you're reading the morning paper.
The paper?
I read it hours ago.
Uh-oh.
I suppose you noticed the mayor's giving a party Saturday night.
Oh, he is?
Oh, it's right there under your nose. Summerfield's elite anticipating Mayor Terwilliger's dinner dance.
Well. So the mayor's giving a party. How about that?
You sound like it's news to you.
Well, that's why they print newspapers. News.
Throckmorton, aren't you invited?
It's a strange thing, Leela. I've never been to the mayor's house.
Are you going this time?
As long as I've worked for the mayor, I've never been in his house.
Are you invited?
11 years, I've never once been in his house.
Throckmorton, are you going to his party?
The mayor has a party every year, and I've never been there.
Throckmorton, did he invite you to the party Saturday night? Answer yes or no.
Well, Leela.
Oh, I shouldn't have asked you that. I'm sorry, Throckmorton. I should know if you're going to Mayor Terwilliger's party, you'd have asked me long ago. After all, it's a Valentine party. Throckmorton.
Now, Leela, perhaps you shouldn't sit on the arm of my chair. This is a business office.
Throckmorton.
Yes, Leela.
Am I your Valentine?
Well.
Gildersleeve.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, I hope I'm not interrupting the flow of business in the water department.
No, not at all. I was just chatting with a friend of mine.
Oh.
Well, glad you dropped in, Mrs. Ransom.
Oh, Throckmorton, aren't you going to introduce me to His Honor?
Oh, yes. Excuse me. Mayor Terwilliger, allow me to present Mrs. Leela Ransom.
How do you do, Mrs. Ransom?
Oh, Mr. Mayor, I'm delighted to meet you.
Thank you. Now, Gildersleeve, about these new water mains...
Well, I've seen your picture in the paper countless times.
Naturally. As I was about to say, Gildersleeve...
And now that I see you in person, your pictures don't do you justice.
Oh?
You look so young for a mayor.
Well...
You were speaking about the water mains, Mr. Mayor.
Gildersleeve, you're interrupting the lady.
Sorry.
Well, I'm the one who's interrupting your business, but I hope you don't mind a girl telling you how distinguished you look, Your Honor.
And if you don't mind, permit me to say Commissioner Gildersleeve has a very charming friend.
Oh, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, brother.
Well, I really must be skipping along. I never did believe a woman should just drop into an office and take up a man's time, even if Throckmorton is my best beau.
So that's how it is, eh, Gildersleeve?
Well, I've known Leela for quite a while, Mr. Mayor.
Wonderful. I suppose we'll be seeing you at my party tomorrow night, Mrs. Ransom?
Well, Mr. Mayor, I'd be just tickled to death.
I'm not tickled, but I'm dead.
The great Gildersleeve will return in just a moment. If your family is fond of cookies, better listen while I tell you about a special recipe from the Kraft Kitchens that makes just about the tastiest cookies that ever filled a cookie jar. They're called oatmeal chewies, and besides being economical, they're wonderfully easy. The shortening you use is Kraft oil, the liquid shortening created by Kraft. An exclusive superfining process gives Kraft oil a lighter body, so it blends faster and better when you mix it with other ingredients. To make oatmeal chewies, combine 2 cups quick cooking oatmeal, 1 cup brown sugar with 1/2 cup of easy-to-measure Kraft oil. Let this mixture stand at room temperature for an hour. Then add a beaten egg, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1/2 teaspoon vanilla, and 1/2 cup coconut. After mixing well, place level tablespoons of the dough on cookie sheets that have been oiled with Kraft oil. Bake in a moderate oven for 12 to 15 minutes or until lightly browned. Remove immediately from the cookie sheets, and you'll have 3 dozen of the grandest cookies you've ever made. For a copy of Kraft Oil's delicious recipe for oatmeal chewies, write Kraft Kitchens, Kraft Foods Company, Chicago 90, Illinois. Kraft Kitchens, Kraft Foods Company, Chicago 90, Illinois. And tomorrow, be sure to get a bottle of Kraft Oil, the most wonderful oil ever created for baking, frying, and salad dressings. Lighter-bodied Kraft Oil. Well, it seems something always comes along to upset the great Gildersleeve's apple cart. If something doesn't come along, he manages to upset it himself.
Unc, how did you happen to invite 2 girls to the same party?
Leroy, I didn't invite both of them. I invited Miss Tuttle. Didn't I, Bertie?
All I know is I saw Miss Ransom in the market, and she said you was taking her.
Well, the mayor put me on the spot. The minute I introduced him to Leela, he assumed she was going to the party with me.
Why didn't you just tell the mayor you already had a date?
Leroy, it's not too easy to say you have another date in front of Leela.
She's counting big on going, all right.
Yeah.
She was telling me in the market what she gonna wear.
Oh?
Miss Ransom said she was wearing the same outfit that knocked them dead last year at the Mardi Gras.
Where's that?
Leroy, that's a big blowout in New Orleans every year.
Yeah?
What did she wear, Bertie?
Black lace over peach-colored satin.
Leroy.
Okay.
Yeah. Go on, Bertie.
That's it. Black lace over peach-colored satin and peeping over a black lace fan.
Well, Leela always did know how to dress.
When Miss Ransom glides in, I can see that party stop. She gonna knock 'em dead, peeping over that black lace fan.
Yeah, all right, Bertie.
Miss Gildersleeve, you know Miss Ransom's gonna do that party?
Yes, Bertie.
That's right. She's gonna knock 'em dead, peeping over that black lace fan.
Well, there must be some way out of this.
Why don't you get smart and get out of town?
Don't be silly.
I got a good excuse for you.
What is it?
Tell your girls our Great Dane is homesick and you have to take him back to Canada.
Don't be ridiculous. There's only one thing to do.
Yeah?
Just go over to Leela's and tell her the truth. Truth never hurt anybody.
Well, in case the girls don't know that, which hospital will you be in?
Leroy. I should have done this in the first place. I'll just explain to Leela that I had a date with Grace all along. What can she do? I wonder what she will do. Well, I still say the truth never hurt anybody. Yeah, nice quiet day.
Well, Throckmorton.
Hello, Leela.
I didn't expect to see you this afternoon.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about something. May I come in?
For a minute. You're just in time to take me to the beauty parlor.
So before you spend the money, let me tell you why I came over.
What's happened, Throckmorton?
Well, Leela, I can't take you to the mayor's party.
Would you mind repeating that?
Yes, I would. It was hard enough to say the first time.
Well, why this change of heart, I'd like to know.
There's no change of heart. It's just that I never did ask you to go to the party.
Why, Throckmorton.
When the mayor met you in the office, he just assumed I was bringing you. As a matter of fact, I had already made other plans.
Who is she?
Not that I wouldn't just soon take you, Leela. Or even rather.
Who is she?
Well, Leela, when I don't take you out, you know who I take out. Yeah, I mean...
Throckmorton, I think Grace Tuttle is a lovely girl.
Oh, I knew you'd understand.
Of course I do. But I wonder if His Honor, Mayor Terwilliger, will.
Mayor Terwilliger?
Your boss.
Well,
He's expecting you to bring me to his party.
I know he suggested
And
it,
if
but-
I were you, I'd consider that a command performance.
What?
What would the mayor say if he knew you were disobeying his orders and trying to push me out for some other girl?
Yeah, but Leela...
Oh, I'd hate to see you make a faux pas that might blight your entire career.
Oop. Leela, we're just wasting our time talking.
Oh?
Come on, let's get you to the beauty parlor. Well, there's only one thing left to do. Break the date with Grace. I'll just tell her the truth. I'll explain that the mayor invited Leela, and he's expecting me to bring her. I had nothing to do with it.
Throckmorton.
Hello, Grace.
What a surprise. Won't you come in?
Thank you.
Let me take your hat.
No, thanks. I'll just hold it. Grace, I don't imagine the mayor's party means too much to you. You have your good books and all.
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to going.
Grace, I must be honest with you. I'm sorry, but I can't take you.
Oh?
I thought it best to come and put my cards on the table.
You don't have one up your sleeve, do you?
Grace, you know me better than that.
Go on, Throckmorton. You're dealing.
Well, it just happens that the mayor made arrangements for me to bring somebody else to his party. I had nothing to do with it.
I understand how those things can happen. That's all right.
At least you had the fun of planning to go.
Oh, it's just been ducky.
I hope this hasn't put you out too much.
Oh, not at all. Of course, I've spent my next 6 months' salary for a party dress, but that's all right.
Well, maybe they'll take it back.
If they don't, and worst comes to worst, I can always eat it. Looks like ice cream anyway.
Grace, I'm sorry about this. I wouldn't have had it happen for the world.
Forget it, Throckmorton.
Oh, Grace, you're a brick.
I suspect I'm a little batty, too.
Well, goodbye.
Throckmorton.
Yes?
Forgive me for being a bit curious, but is the girl you're taking a relative of the mayor's?
A relative? Oh, no.
Just a friend of the family, I suppose.
Well, he just met her. Yeah, I mean...
Yes?
Oh, what the heck. You'll find it out anyway. It's Leela.
Oh, handsome ransom again.
She was in my office the other day when the mayor came in.
Does she make a practice of visiting your office?
You don't know. She just happened in, and the mayor assumed I was taking her to the party.
Why?
Well, he thought she was my girlfriend.
Oh, this was after you asked me to go?
Well, yes.
Why didn't you lay your cards on their table?
Well...
Throckmorton, I'm going to trump your ace.
What?
You're taking me to that party.
Oh. Well, in 30 minutes, I'm due at Leela's. The terrible thing is I'm also due at Grace's. Oh, what a nightmare this night's going to be. Guess I'll stop in Peavy's for a cigar. And at the rate I'm smoking, I'd better make it a box. Hello, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you this evening?
More cigars, Peavy.
Very well. You cut quite a figure in that tux.
Yeah,
Which young lady did you invite to the mayor's party?
both of them.
How's that?
I invited Grace, and then the mayor saw me with Leela and suggested I bring her. What could I do?
Well, it's a little late to talk about what you could have done. The point is, what are you going to do?
Peavy, this is the worst predicament I've ever been in.
You don't say.
I explained the situation to both girls, but neither one would let me off the hook.
A big fish like you should be able to get off the hook.
Oh, all right, Peavy. Give me a strong Coke.
Very well.
If I could just think of some good reason for not even showing up. Like an emergency in the water department. Hey, Peavy, do that again.
You want 2 Cokes?
No, turn on that carbonated water. I want to hear it fizzle.
Well, if it amuses you.
Right, George, that water gives me an idea.
You're going to jump in the reservoir?
No, I have a bold plan. I'm going to create an emergency right here in your drugstore.
Now, wait a minute, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yeah, I'll turn on all the faucets behind your fountain, Bang in the pipes with a hammer, and then get the mayor on the phone.
My.
He'll hear the water running, and I'll tell him I can't come to his party because I'm taking care of an emergency. Why, George, this is the best idea I ever had.
No, I wouldn't say that. What if the mayor finds out?
Stand aside, Peavy. I'll turn on the faucets and get on the phone.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you're making a mistake.
There. Doesn't that sound like a broken water main?
It sounds like trouble, all right.
Now I'll call the mayor. This will get me out of the dates, and the mayor will respect me for staying on the job. Hello? You Mayor Twilliger there? He isn't? Oh, hello, Mrs. Twilliger. This is Water Commissioner Gildersleeve.
Mr. Gildersleeve.
Mrs. Twilliger, when the mayor comes home, tell him I won't be able to come to the party.
Good evening, Peavy.
I have to stay on duty.
What's going on? Why is all the water running?
There's a big emergency at the water department, Mrs. Twilliger. You can hear me at work.
I can't believe my eyes.
Yeah, that's right, Mrs. Twilliger. So if you'll express my regrets to the mayor. You say he went down to Peavy's drugstore?
Gildersleeve!
The great Gildersleeve will be right back. There's a wonderful new oil that does wonderful new things for homemade salad dressings, baking, and frying. It's Kraft Oil, the oil that's superfine to make it lighter-bodied. Because Kraft Oil is a lighter-bodied oil, it blends faster and better with other ingredients, makes smoother, tastier French dressings, makes cakes and cookies that stay fresh and moist day after day, gives fried foods a tender crispness. Better begin using lighter-bodied Kraft Oil in your kitchen. Get a bottle tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Boy Scout Week, so it seems a good time to congratulate the many fine American families everywhere who have encouraged the Scout movement to the point where today its membership is at an all-time high. Yes, sir, there are more than 3,250,000 Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, Explorers, and adult leaders. And Leroy.
Yeah, Unc?
I want to congratulate you on your 43rd birthday.
43rd birthday, me?
As a member of the Boy Scouts, my boy. This week you're celebrating your 43rd birthday.
Oh, sure. Hey, Unc.
Yes?
We need leaders. Have you ever considered joining the Boy Scouts?
After what happened to me tonight, I've even thought of joining the Foreign Legion.
What happened to your 2 dates?
Well, the mayor found escorts for them. They're probably having a wonderful time.
What do you suppose the mayor's going to say to you tomorrow?
Not a thing, my boy.
No?
He said it all tonight. Good night, folks.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Willard Waterman. The show is written by John Elliott and Andy White and is partially transcribed. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Lillian Randolph, Mary Shipp, Shirley Mitchell, Stanley Farrar, and Dick LeGrand. Musical compositions by Jack Meakin. This is John Heaston saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Be sure to listen in next week and every week for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
What goes into a perfect sandwich? Maybe it's roast beef or savory baked ham. Whatever your favorite, the perfect meat sandwich needs the perfect mustard. Kraft prepared mustard. For when you add a little mustard, you add a lot of tang. You can take your choice of 2 kinds of Kraft mustard. Mild Kraft mustard is smooth and delicately spiced. Or if you like your mustard with extra pep, try Kraft mustard with snappy horseradish added. Keep them both on hand and keep everyone in the family happy. Next time, get Kraft prepared mustard.
Tonight, play You Bet Your Life on NBC.
The the Kraft Foods Company presents Willard Waterman as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you, partially transcribed, by the Kraft Foods Company. There are lots of good reasons for serving Kraft's new Parquet margarine. Parquet gives you everything you've ever wanted in a table spread. It looks wonderful, it tastes wonderful, and it spreads smoothly even when ice cold. Now there's still another reason for buying Kraft's new Parquet regularly. With every pound, you can order a pair of famous Powers model nylon stockings at half price. I'll tell you more about Parquet margarine's sensational offer in just a minute. Nobody tries harder than the Great Gildersleeve to be on good terms with everybody, especially his girlfriends. But even girls as sympathetic as Leela Ransom and Grace Tuttle find it difficult to understand how the water commissioner can make dates with each of them for the same night.
Hello? Hello? Hello, Leela? How do you like that? She hung up on me.
Yeah?
Leroy, she won't even talk to me.
Why don't you call Miss Tuttle?
I did. She won't talk to me either. I don't deserve this. Why should I be cast aside like an old shoe?
Because they think you're a heel?
Leroy.
Unc, I always thought a guy was pretty lucky being a bachelor, but I've changed my mind. I'd rather be married.
Why?
When you're married, you only got one woman to contend with.
Well, I'm going to phone again and give Leela one more chance. Leroy, let the dog in.
Okay.
That 140-pound Great Dane could knock down the door if he took a run at it.
Come on, boy.
Watch it, dog. Get down. Trying to use the phone.
Maybe he thinks the receiver's a dog biscuit.
Yes. Get down. I have troubles enough.
He has troubles, too. He just handles his better than you, Unc.
What?
You only got 2 girlfriends. The dog's got about 6 in this block.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I'll see if Leela's in a more receptive mood.
Hello? Who's that?
Me, Leela. Oops, she did it again.
She'll talk to the dog, but she won't talk to you, huh?
Yeah, I know what I'll do. I'll get Bertie to intercede for me. Bertie!
Yes, Miss Gildersleeve?
Will you do me a favor?
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Ransom likes you. Will you see if you can get her to talk to me?
You mean I got to straighten you out with Mrs. Ransom?
Well, it would help, Bertie.
The job Bertie gets around here. Bertie cooks the meals, keeps the house, and plays Cupid on the side.
I'll dial the phone, Bertie.
Well, I tell her, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, you might play on her sympathies. Tell her I'm not feeling well.
Tell her Unc's sick. Lovesick.
Leroy, I'm not lovesick.
Well, I'll try to make it fast, because I got a cake in the oven.
Now listen, Throckmorton.
This ain't Throckmorton. This is Bertie.
Oh, hello, Bertie. He's called me so many times I was beginning to think he had his finger stuck in the dial.
Yes, ma'am. How are you, Miss Ransom?
Just fine, Bertie. I was thinking about you just this morning.
Yes, ma'am?
I saw a recipe for coleslaw in the paper.
I saw that recipe, too.
Bertie.
I said to myself, I'm going to try that for lunch. Coleslaw ought to be good with Miracle Whip.
Oh, I just adore coleslaw.
Bertie, come to the point.
I'm going to have sandwiches and coleslaw.
Planning a menu over the phone.
That's what I'm going to have, sandwiches and coleslaw.
Well, I'm going to have lunch downtown. I want to go to Hogan Brothers and see those darling file suits.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I saw them in the paper. Wasn't they cute?
Shh, Bertie.
Excuse me, Miss Ransom. Yes, sir?
Say something about me.
Oh, speaking of going downtown, there's a gentleman here who'd be glad to drive you and maybe buy your lunch.
Good going.
A gentleman?
Yes, sir. Mr. Gildersleeve.
Goodbye, Bertie.
Did she hang up on you, Bertie?
No, sir, I think she hung up on you again.
I see enough of Miss Tuttle in school. Why do I have to come over to her house?
Chances are you can help your old uncle, my boy. She can hardly refuse to talk to me if we go over about your school problems.
My problems?
Well, okay, I'm the one with the problems. But if we start talking to your teacher about yours, we can ease into mine.
You've given up on Mrs. Ransom, huh?
Yeah, I can be as obstinate as she can. Besides, I can persuade Grace to go out with me. I won't miss Leela.
She hasn't answered the door. I wonder if she saw you coming.
Yes?
Hello, Grace.
Good morning. Hello, Leroy.
Hi.
Grace, I realize this is a little unusual, but being Saturday morning, I thought it might be a good time to discuss Leroy's school problem.
Does Leroy have a school problem?
Doesn't he? Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Leroy. Tell Miss Tuttle about your problem.
Well, gosh, I've been doing pretty good. Haven't I, Miss Tuttle? For me?
Your work has been more than satisfactory, Leroy.
Thanks.
Well, glad to hear that, of course, but...
If you have a problem, it isn't in school. Your homework has improved tremendously.
Yeah?
Well, I have to take a little credit for that.
Oh, you mean you're no longer helping him?
Leroy, would you mind running along?
I didn't want to come anyway. Goodbye, Miss Tuttle, and thanks for helping me with my problem.
Goodbye, Leroy. Goodbye, Throckmorton.
Now, Grace, let's be sensible about this. Let's talk this over.
I'll have nothing to do with a man who makes dates with two girls on the same night and doesn't keep either one of them.
Grace, that'll never happen again.
You're so right.
I'll give anything to get things straightened out.
Obviously, bringing your nephew over on such a silly pretext.
All right. I'll admit I came over here to mend fences.
Fine. I'll give you something to start on.
Well...
I'll give you the gate.
Grace! Leroy, wait for me. Women can be pretty unreasonable where a man is concerned. They should realize he's going to make a mistake now and then. Maybe I should stop in Peavy's and send them each a box of candy. Hello, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you?
Peavy, I'm still having trouble making up with Leela and Grace.
You don't say.
Yeah, I thought I might send them each a box of candy.
Very well, Mr. Gildersleeve. You seem to have a lot of lady troubles.
Well, as Leroy said this morning, a man's better off married than being a badgered bachelor like me.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, you take your own case. You and Mrs. Peavy have been married over 40 years. You know a man's happier with a wife.
No, I wouldn't say that.
What's this?
It all depends on who you marry. Mrs. Peavy and I have been very happy through the years.
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
Of course, you might not be as lucky in marriage as Mrs. Peavy was.
I'll bet you don't tell her she's lucky.
No, that's why we're so happily married.
Yes. Say, isn't that Clarence Olson parking out in front?
Well, I believe it is. You remember when he used to steal all your girlfriends?
Yeah, conceited intern. Thinks he's quite an operator.
Hello, Mr. Peavy.
Well, hello, Dr. Olson.
And Gildersleeve.
Why, what do you know? Clarence Olson. I haven't seen you for some time.
No, our paths haven't crossed since we both were dating that cute little nurse.
As I recall, they used to cross quite often.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, Mr. Peavy, do you mind putting this poster in your window?
Poster?
Mm-hmm. The Summerfield Symphony is giving a concert for the Heart Fund.
Oh, I'll be happy to, Doctor.
Oh, thank you. How about you, Gildersleeve? Would you like to buy a couple of tickets? $5.
Oh, you bet. Here.
If I know you, you'll want to take some girl.
Well, I'll be glad to help the Heart Fund. But I don't have a girl.
Oh, now, Gildersleeve.
Do I, Peavy?
Not at the moment. Mr. Gildersleeve just had two girls walk out on him.
Really? Mr. Peavy, give us a Coke. I want to hear the sad story.
Well.
Gildersleeve, you never quite learned how to handle women, did you?
Now, see here, Clarence. I know what I'm doing. Unfortunately, I just happened to make dates with both girls for the same night, that's all. I've apologized many times. Over the phone and at the front door.
Mm-hmm.
I've sent them flowers, and I came in here to buy them some candy.
Yeah, that's right. Let's not forget that.
Gildersleeve, you're going at this all wrong.
What?
Look, since we're no longer rivals, I don't mind giving you a few pointers. And you need them.
I do not. Do I, Peavy?
I'd listen to the man, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh.
You're too obvious. You wear your heart on your sleeve.
Yeah, on both sleeves.
Yes.
Instead of showering a girl with presents and attention, play hard to get.
Oh?
Be independent. Pretend you don't care if you never go out with them.
That works, huh?
Can't miss. The more indifferent you are, the more intrigued they are.
Well, I'm not getting anywhere now.
Gildersleeve, next time you see one of your girls, follow my advice. You'll thank me for the rest of your life.
Careful what you say, gentlemen. Here comes one of the girls now.
Yeah, it's Leela.
Hey, she's one of your girls?
You bet. Leela, it's nice to see you.
I'll be indifferent.
Oh, yes.
Why, Throckmorton.
Hello.
Well, hello, Mrs. Ransom.
Hello, Mr. Peavy. You cute little old man, you.
What can I do for you?
Well, I just want some stamps out of the machine here.
Well.
What's that poster advertising, Mr. Peavy?
It's about the symphony concert. Dr. Olson here brought it in.
Oh?
A friend of Mr. Gildersleeve.
Aren't you going to introduce me, Gildersleeve?
Yeah, well, Mrs. Ransom, may I present Dr. Clarence Olson?
How do you do, Dr. Olson?
How do you do?
I didn't know we had a Dr. Olson in town.
He's an intern at the hospital.
Oh, well, it's very nice of you, Doctor, to take the time to help promote the concert.
Oh, I'm happy to do it.
Are you going to the concert, Leela?
Well, you know I adore Symphony Throckmorton, and my phone has been ringing all morning. I suppose somebody has been calling to extend an invitation.
Well, you know, I'd be delighted.
Gildersleeve?
What were you about to say, Throckmorton?
I said I'd be delighted to take you.
Oh?
But I'm quite busy and afraid I won't be able to. Some other time, perhaps.
Well.
That's the idea.
Yeah, I bought a couple of tickets, but, Peavy, why don't you and I go to the wrestling matches?
Can we get in with symphony tickets?
Well, I never.
What's wrong with a couple of men going to the wrestling matches?
I was just about to give you another chance, Throckmorton, and let you take me to the symphony, but you burned your bridges.
Now, wait a minute, Leela.
Mrs. Ransom, I hate to see a music lover disappointed.
Oh?
Since our mutual friend prefers wrestling, may I invite you to be my guest at the concert?
Oop.
I have two of the best seats in the house.
Well, Dr. Olson, I accept your invitation.
Good. May I see you to your car?
Oh, you certainly may. Goodbye, Mr. Peavy.
Goodbye, Mrs. Ransom.
Yeah, but Leela, Clarence. How about that, Peavy?
He's just helping you play hard to get.
Oh, what a sneaky way to help.
The great Gildersleeve will return in just a moment. Kraft has exciting news for you about a special money-saving offer to introduce you to new Parquet, the wonderful new margarine that spreads smoothly even when ice cold. In every pound of Kraft's new Parquet, you'll find the details of how to get famous Powers model nylon stockings at half price. These luxurious nylons were designed by John Robert Powers to flatter the legs of America's most glamorous models. They're 51 gauge, 15 denier, the weight most women prefer. They have a flexible top, perfect fit, and a tapered heel to slenderize your ankle. A nationally known testing laboratory examined these Powers model nylons
and reports their quality and durability the equal of nylon selling regularly at $1.50. But you can order as many pairs as you want for only 75 cents by just sending in one yellow end flap from a package of parquet margarine for each pair you order. Let me repeat that. These Powers Model 51-gauge 15-denier nylons are a regular $1.50 value, but you can order them for just 75 cents and a parquet margarine end flap. That's the yellow flap that tucks into the top of the parquet package. Choose from two of the season's smartest shades and either a dark seam or a self-color seam. Instructions for ordering are given inside every parquet margarine package. So tomorrow, be sure to pick up Kraft's wonderful parquet, the delicious, appetizing new margarine that spreads smoothly even when ice cold. Well, let's get back to the great Gildersleeve. Neither Leela Ransom nor Grace Tuttle has been speaking to the water commissioner, so he decided to take the advice of his old rival, Dr. Olson, and play hard to get. Result? Dr. Olson got Leela.
That pushy intern tricked me, Bertie.
Yes, sir?
Leela was just about to forgive me and let me take her to the concert. And he took her right from under my nose.
Yes, sir.
Be indifferent, he says. Pretend you don't care, he says. Yeah, I should have known better than to take advice from a rival.
Yes, sir.
You still don't have a girlfriend, huh?
Leela got upset all over again. Now I'm really in the doghouse. I'm not talking to you, dog.
He's in sure. He doesn't have a real name, so he answers every time you say dog. See?
Oh, my goodness.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I got an idea Miss Tuttle might go out with you if it's something really important.
What's this, Bertie?
Well, since you bought 2 tickets to the symphony, you might try her.
Well, I'd like to take Grace. And it'd also show Leela.
Miss Tuttle won't even talk to you. She slams the door in your face.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you might try slipping the tickets under the door with a string tied to them.
Please, Bertie.
Why don't you fool her, Unc?
How, Leroy?
Well, you can disguise yourself as a vacuum cleaner salesman.
That's the most ridiculous idea I ever heard of. I wouldn't stoop to disguising myself. Well, I didn't disguise myself. I just brought the vacuum cleaner. You might help me get my foot in the door. Then I can ask Grace to go to the symphony.
Yes?
Is the lady of the house in?
Now, see here, Throckmorton.
I'm demonstrating the Jiffy Dandy vacuum cleaner. And before you say you don't need a vacuum cleaner, allow me to throw a sack of dirt on your floor.
Don't you dare throw dirt on my floor.
Don't worry, lady. Just read these testimonials. See what this housewife from Duluth says about Jiffy Dandy.
Get your foot out of the door.
Please, lady. I'm working my way through college, and I'm a little late.
Throckmorton, I can't stay angry at you. Come in, college boy.
I think I've graduated.
These are wonderful seats, Throckmorton.
Yeah. I like to be close enough to watch the guy bang the cymbals.
And we're so fortunate having a symphony orchestra in Summerfield.
Hey, they're not getting off to a very even start.
They're tuning up, Throckmorton.
They're tuning... Oh, yes. Thought I'd make a little joke.
Isn't it funny how things work out? This morning I had no idea I'd be attending a concert with you tonight.
Well, I'm glad I came over with my vacuum cleaner.
Are you sure you didn't try to sell it to some other girl?
I suppose you mean Leela.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
Oh?
I'm not dating Leela these days. As a matter of fact, she's going with someone else.
Well, I suppose a girl of her type always manages to corral some unsuspecting male.
No, Grace. This happens to be a young doctor in town.
She probably had an appendectomy just to meet him.
I won't be surprised if they show up at the concert tonight.
Well, you seem to know a lot about it.
Me?
Are you just chatting or regretting?
Grace, I'm not regretting. I'm very happy about the whole thing. I've learned my lesson. 2 girls on your hands at the same time spell nothing but trouble.
These are our seats right here, Doctor.
Here comes double trouble.
Why, it's Leela. They're sitting next to us.
Well, it's Throckmorton with Grace.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, Leela.
Throckmorton, is this what you call going to the wrestling matches?
Well, good evening, Gildersleeve.
Hello.
Dr. Olson, I don't believe you've met Throckmorton's little school teacher friend.
No, I haven't had the pleasure.
Yeah, excuse me. Miss Tuttle, this is Dr. Olson, hospital intern.
How do you do, Miss Tuttle?
How do you do?
I see you have a date, Gildersleeve. You must have taken my advice.
Pushy Swede.
Oh, why don't you sit right here, Leela?
Next to Throckmorton?
The doctor tried to sit there. She'd break his arm.
I declare, these seats are so close together.
Can you get all that dress in this seat?
Throckmorton,
Yes, Grace.
you didn't have anything to do with this cozy arrangement, I hope.
No. I had no idea. I'm with you. This is just an unfortunate situation.
Then stop smiling.
Well, we're just in time.
I hope they don't dim the lights before everybody sees my dress.
They can't miss it. It looks like a neon sign.
Grace, she'll hear you.
I did. We must make quite a combination, dear, with your green eyes and hennaed hair.
Leela.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please.
Shh, listen.
If Dr. Clarence Olson is in the house, he's wanted at the hospital. Dr. Clarence Olson, please.
Oh, that's you, Clarence.
Oh, yes, I'm afraid I'll have to leave.
What a shame.
Well, there's no reason for you to miss the concert. Throckmorton.
Yes?
You and Miss Tuttle will see that Leela gets home, won't you?
Well.
That's nice of you two. Of course, I've always felt two's company and three's a crowd.
I've never felt more crowded. Throckmorton, it was a most enjoyable concert.
Glad you liked it, Grace.
Wasn't it, though? Of course, I had no idea the evening would end up a threesome.
Neither did I.
By George, this is great. I've got both girls back.
I declare, I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't taken me under your wing, Throckmorton.
Well, Grace and I were glad to help.
Yes, I believe everyone should cooperate in an emergency.
Grace, ever since I've known Throckmorton, which is much longer than you, he has always come to my rescue like a knight in shining armor.
You're glad I polished up the old car. Shall we stop someplace for a soda or a hot chocolate, girl?
Throckmorton, I have to get up early in the morning. Don't you think we should drive Leela home?
Well.
Gracious, if you have to get up early, why drive me home and come all the way back?
What?
Oh, I've inconvenienced you enough already, Grace. Throckmorton, we're almost at Grace's now. Why don't we drop off?
But...
After all, you and I live so close together.
Perhaps you should drop me off, Throckmorton, since you and Leela are so close.
Well, Grace, if you think I should.
It isn't that I think you should. I was just wondering if you would.
Now, Grace, this is our date.
This was our date.
Okay. I'll drop you off.
You're not dropping me. I'm dropping you.
There goes one girl. Well, here you are, Leela. Home.
Oh, it's such a lovely night, Throckmorton. Let's sit in the car a little while before I go in.
Leela, I think it's been a long evening. For all of us.
Throckmorton.
Yeah?
Are you unhappy with Leela?
Well, you weren't very nice to Grace. Practically pushing her out of the car. After all, I had the date with her, you know.
Oh, you were going to ask me first. You know you were. Won't you, Throckmorton?
Well...
And can I help it if my heart skips a beat when I see you with another woman?
Now, Lou, let's face it. You weren't even speaking to me when I phoned the other morning.
But Leela's in a more receptive mood at night.
Leela, you changed with the winds. You went to the symphony with Dr. Olson and came home with me. You seem perfectly happy with either one of us.
Well, I'm happy now.
Yes, yes.
And a little sad, too.
Oh?
That I've made you unhappy.
Well, isn't that I'm unhappy?
Then you do like Leela a teeny weeny bit?
Well, of course I like you.
How much?
Well...
A bushel and a pear?
Well...
If you say a bushel, I might give you a pear.
Leela, I like you a bushel.
Then here's your pear.
Oh!
Oh, gracious! Who bumped the back of our car?
Hello.
Olson.
Why, Clarence!
Gildersleeve, thanks for taking care of my girl until I got back.
Zeke, there goes the other one.
The great Gildersleeve will be right back. Tomorrow's the day to buy Kraft's wonderful new Parquet margarine, the margarine that spreads smoothly even when ice cold. You'll enjoy Parquet's fresh, appetizing taste, and you'll also enjoy the opportunity to build a glamorous hosiery wardrobe at half price. In every package of Parquet margarine are full instructions for getting famous Powers model nylon stockings for just 75 cents in a Parquet package end flap. Remember Kraft's delicious new Parquet when you shop tomorrow.
Come by school to pick me up, Unc.
Well, I thought you'd like a ride home, Leroy.
At first, I thought maybe you came just to get a look at Miss Tuttle.
No, indeed, my boy. Nobody is further from my mind than Miss Tuttle.
Yeah, I noticed she didn't speak to you when you parked outside our classroom window.
Oh, well.
How you doing, Mrs. Ransom?
Great. I may drop by after I take you home. Say, isn't that Dr. Olson parked up ahead?
Yeah, wonder why he's sitting there.
Yeah, I don't know. But I'm going to drive up behind him and give him a bump.
Yeah, you think you ought to?
Yeah, he bumped me last night. Now it's my turn. Yeah, I'm going to push him halfway down the block. Yeah, this will pay him back for taking Leela away from me last night.
Hey, he's calling for you, huh?
Yeah?
Thanks, Gildersleeve.
What?
Thanks for the push. I couldn't start my car and I'm late for a date with Leela.
Good night, sir.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Willard Waterman. The show is written by John Elliott and Andy White and is partially transcribed. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Lillian Randolph, George Neese, Mary Shipp, Shirley Mitchell, Pinto Colvig, and Dick LeGrand. Musical compositions by Jack Meakin. This is John Heaston saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Be sure to listen in next week and every week for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
There's something new and wonderful about Kraft oil. It now comes to your kitchen as fresh as it was the minute it was made, because it's bottled in a new way. Any salad and cooking oil is better when it's fresh. And now Kraft oil, and only Kraft oil, is guaranteed fresh with an airtight vacuum cap. Be sure to get a bottle of Kraft oil tomorrow. The freshest oil you'll ever buy is lighter-bodied, better blending Kraft oil.
Tonight, play You Bet Your Life on NBC.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Willard Waterman as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you, partially transcribed, by the Kraft Foods Company. There's wonderful eating in every pound of Kraft's new Parquet margarine. You like new Parquet because it always tastes so fresh and appetizing because it spreads smoothly even when ice cold. And now Kraft has more good news for you. With every package of Parquet you buy, you can order a pair of famous Powers model nylon stockings at half price. I'll tell you more about Parquet Margarine's sensational offer on Powers model nylons in just a minute. It's funny the changes that take place around a house the minute a family gets a dog. Since the great Gildersleeve's cousin Bert sent him a Great Dane from Canada, a 6-foot fence has grown up around the backyard, the flower beds have taken a beating, and there's a tunnel under the house foundation for storing important bones. Sometimes a dog leaves these pleasant surroundings and wanders away from home.
He just won't stay home, Mr. Gildersleeve. That dog's been gone all day.
Where's Leroy, Bertie?
He's out after that dog. He jumped that 6-foot fence.
Leroy?
No, sir. That dog.
Oh.
He jumped that 6-foot fence. I never saw a dog like that dog. He just won't stay home.
Well, I wonder where they are now.
That dog's out chasing something, and Leroy's out chasing the dog.
Well, I thought that fence would hold him.
Oh, no, sir. That dog rears up on his hind legs and looks over that fence just as big as you please.
Oh?
Next thing you know, he's gone. If you want to keep that dog home, you'll have to put a tent over the backyard.
No, Bertie.
Yes, sir. If you're going to keep that dog home, you need a tent over the backyard.
Yeah, all right, Bertie.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you know the only way to keep that dog home?
Yes, Bertie.
That's right. You have to put a tent over the backyard.
Well, I guess a big elephant like that could use a tent.
Now get under the house and don't come out.
Oh, Leroy found the dog. Leroy!
All right, as soon as I finish telling them off. Go on, slink under the house with your tail between your legs, you big bum.
Leroy, you shouldn't talk to the dog like that.
I gotta teach him a lesson, Unc. I want him to realize what he's done.
What did he do?
He's been chasing Mr. Peavy's cat.
Well, I didn't know Peavy had a cat.
Well, it's an old stray that hangs out back of his store.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, the one with a crooked tail. Mr. Peavy thinks a lot of that old stray. He feeds him and everything. He even gives him vitamins.
Oh, my goodness.
You think I should go down and apologize?
Yeah, I'll stop by Peavy's in the morning and tell him we're sorry.
Gosh. You suppose Mr. Peavy's really sore?
Well, I wouldn't worry about it, Leroy. It's natural for dogs to chase cats. I don't imagine Peavy's offended.
You don't know what happened. The dog chased the cat in the back door just as Mr. Peavy was coming out with a box of empty bottles.
Oh?
The cat ran between Mr. Peavy's legs, but the dog couldn't make it.
He might be sore at that. Yeah, lucky this morning. Nobody's in the barber's chair. Think I'll pick up a shave. Hello, Floyd.
Oh, hi, Commish. Like the fellow said when the tide didn't come in, long time no see.
Yes. How about a shave, Floyd?
Hop right up in the chair. You're my first customer.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, good.
Always like to work on a friend first thing in the morning when my hand's a little shaky.
Floyd, I wish you'd do your practicing on yourself.
Not me. I never shave till 11 o'clock when I'm sure I'm awake.
What a barber.
Fasten your safety belt. Here comes the hot towel. You want a shave that'll carry you through the night or just until 5 o'clock shadow time?
Make it close, Floyd.
Hey, you must be stepping out with that classy Mrs. Ransom tonight.
Well, I hadn't given it any thought.
Wait till the sun goes down. You will. You'll come out of the woods like a big moose. You want another hot towel?
No, that's enough, Floyd.
My wife, Lovey, saw your Savannah siren in the beauty parlor the other day, but she didn't recognize her.
Oh?
She was wearing a mud pack. Commish, have you ever seen her in mud?
Of course not, Floyd.
If you got any serious intentions, you ought to look into these things before the knot's tied.
Well, I'm in no hurry, Floyd.
First time I saw Lovey with her hair in curlers and her chin in a sling, I nearly jumped out of our contract.
Floyd, do you mind getting on with the shave? I have to stop by Peavy's before I go to the office.
Oh, sure. You having breakfast with the Peeve?
No. Our Great Dane's been chasing his cat, so I thought I'd go over and apologize.
Oh, yeah? Why should you apologize?
Well, Floyd, the dog shouldn't have been down there. There's a leash law. The dogs aren't supposed to roam the streets, you know.
But cats can, huh?
Well, yes.
How about that? You have to keep a dog off the street, but every alley's full of cats.
Well, I hadn't thought of that.
Dogs ought to have as many rights as cats. This is a free country, ain't it?
Yeah. Goodness knows I've tried to keep him in. I built a 6-foot fence.
And what's the Peeve done to keep his cat in? Nothing. That old Tom just sits over there tempting your dog to chase him. Peavy's the guy that ought to apologize.
Lloyd, what do you have against Peavy?
Well, I don't think he should keep a cat which upsets a good customer like you.
Oh, so that's it.
Besides, he bought one of them new gadgets and cuts his own hair now.
Oh. Hello, Peavy.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you this morning?
Peavy, I understand our dog has been chasing your cat.
Mr. Gildersleeve, that's not a dog. I thought it was Seabiscuit.
Seabiscuit?
I rode him from the back door all the way out to the front.
Oh?
My cat ran between my legs and the dog tried to follow him.
Well, I heard about that, and I've come to apologize.
Well, that's very nice of you, Mr. Gildersleeve. These things do happen.
Yeah, but it's nothing to break up an old friendship.
Oh, I know. Something amusing you, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Yeah, I was just thinking how funny you must have looked when that dog tripped you up. And you with an armful of bottles. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't funny at the time.
Oh, I'd have given anything to see that.
Now, come to think of it, it isn't funny now, is it?
Well, Peavy, it wouldn't have happened if you didn't keep that old crooked-tailed alley cat.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I'll thank you not to call Chester an alley cat.
Oh, come now, Peavy. He's just an old stray.
He is not. I knew both his father and his mother. Got a lot more sense than some dogs I know.
No, Peavy. Let's not go comparing him with a full-blooded Great Dane.
Well, just keep him on a leash, Mr. Gildersleeve. That's all I've got to say. Just keep him on a leash.
No, wait a minute. Let's not get tough about this.
Who's getting tough? Just keep him on a leash.
If you felt this way, why didn't you say so when I came in here? What are you, mealy-mouthed?
Speaking of mouths, I know a water commissioner who has too much lip.
Peavy, don't get personal. I know a druggist who'd look better if he didn't cut his own hair.
Speaking of hair, I know somebody who gets in mine.
Well, I'll get out of it. I may never set foot in your store again. And you'll regret it.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
You home, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Yes, Bertie.
Leroy's been asking about you. He's anxious to find out what Mr. Peavy had to say.
Well, Peavy had quite a lot to say on the subject.
Yes, sir. But you fixed everything up, huh?
Yeah, I fixed everything.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Well, I went in to apologize. But one word led to another until I was saying some things I shouldn't say to Peavy.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Unc.
Hello, Leroy.
So you and him had words, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Yeah. It was all my fault, Bertie.
Who had words?
Mr. Peavy is pretty upset, Leroy.
What, the dog?
He's not upset with the dog. He's upset with Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yeah?
We'd better try to keep the dog away from there.
First thing we know, somebody's going to pick up that dog and take him to the pound.
Oh, Mr. Peavy wouldn't do that.
Well, I've never seen Peavy angrier than he was with me today. I think he might even send me to the pound.
Yes, sir. First thing we know, that dog's going to end up in the pound.
Peavy reminded me of the leash law.
What's that?
Dogs can't run loose, Leroy. If they get loose from the leash, they're liable to end up in the pound.
Gosh, what's a pound like?
It's a jail for dogs, boy.
No, Bertie?
I can see that poor dog sitting in his cell looking through them bars right now.
Please, Bertie.
That poor dog sitting behind the bars waiting to get bailed out.
Gosh, Unc, what are we going to do?
Well, we can't teach the dog not to chase cats.
No, sir. Dogs chase cats every day. It's when people get mixed up in it. That's when the fur begins to fly.
Now Bertie's upset with me. Leroy, we'll just have to start training the dog.
Not to chase cats?
No, we'll try to make him understand when he goes out he has to be on a leash. In fact, I think I'll put him on a leash and walk him down to Peavy's to show we intend to do the right thing.
Swell, Unc.
I want to do whatever I can to stay on good terms with Peavy.
Miss Gildersleeve.
Yes, Bertie?
Ain't you and the dog going to eat lunch before you go?
No, when we get to the drugstore, we may split a banana split.
Yes.
Will that be all, Mrs. Ransom?
Well, that's all for now, thank you, Mr. Peavy. I'm tempted to buy a box of that candy, but Throckmorton usually keeps me supplied with it. You might give him a hint when he comes in.
I gave him a hint this morning.
You did?
To stay out of the store.
What's the matter with you and Throckmorton?
There's nothing the matter with me.
Why, Mr. Peavy, you're so cute when you're angry.
Well, I seldom get this way, but my cat has been chased once too often.
Gracious! Has Throckmorton been chasing your cat?
No, it's that Great Dane ahead, you big bully.
What's that?
That's Chester.
Your cat?
I had to bring him inside on account of that dog.
Oh, well, now that Throckmorton knows how you feel, he certainly won't let that dog come around.
He better not.
Well, hello, Leela.
Throckmorton, we were just talking about you.
Yeah, I can imagine what Peavy was saying. Hello, Peavy.
Now, Fooey, close the door.
Well, you said not to stick my foot in here, so I'm just sticking my head in.
Now, close the door on your head.
I declare, you two aren't getting along.
Peavy, this is silly. I just came by to assure you that everything's going to be all right.
You don't say.
Your cat has nothing to worry about. Look, I got the dog on a leash now. Come on in, dog.
Hey, Mr. Gildersleeve, don't bring that dog in here.
Peavy, it's all right.
Throckmorton, Mr. Peavy's cat's in here.
Oh?
Mr. Gildersleeve, I brought my cat inside to keep him away from your dog.
Stop worrying, Peavy. I got the dog on a leash. Don't worry, Kitty.
Oh, mercy.
Mr. Gildersleeve, if you don't take your dog out of the pharmacy...
Steady, dog. Now, stop pulling.
Oh, you can't hold him, Throckmorton.
Oh, leash broke.
Run, Chester.
Come back here, dog.
Dog, you get out of my patent medicine.
Oh, somebody do something.
Run, Chester, run.
Dog, you can't climb those shelves. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, did they run out the back door?
Well, I don't know, but I'm running out the front.
The great Gildersleeve will return in just a moment. How would you like to get a beautiful wardrobe of nylon stockings at half price? Kraft makes this remarkable offer to urge you to serve new Parquet, the wonderful margarine that spreads smoothly even when ice cold. Every time you buy delicious Parquet margarine, you can order a pair of nylon stockings at half price. Luxurious first-quality Powers model nylons, the kind that were designed for America's cover girls. And instead of paying the regular price of $1.50, you pay just 75 cents when you send in the yellow end flap from a package of Parquet margarine. These full-fashion Powers model nylons are sheer and durable, 51 gauge, 15 denier. Their flexible top assures a smooth, perfect fit, and their tapered heel makes ankles look slimmer. You have a choice of two popular shades and either a dark seam or a self-color seam. A famous testing laboratory
compared these Powers model nylons with other leading makes and reports them equal in quality and durability to nylons selling regularly at $1.50. But you can get them for just 75 cents plus the yellow parquet package end flap for each pair ordered. Complete ordering instructions are given inside the parquet package. Get Kraft's Parquet tomorrow, the delicious margarine that spreads smoothly even when ice cold. Well, let's get back to the great Gildersleeve. If you have a pet that doesn't get along with a friend's pet, chances are you won't get along with the friend. Anyway, what with Gildersleeve's dog and Peavy's cat, the old friends aren't so friendly.
I've always been very fond of Peavy, but he's become very unreasonable.
What happened this time, Unc?
Well, my intentions were the best when I took the dog down there in a leash. But Peavy was foolish enough to have his cat in the store.
Uh-oh.
Could I help it if the leash broke, Bertie?
So that's why the dog came home smelling like cough syrup.
Hey. Well, he did break a few bottles. That's when Peavy threatened to call a lawyer.
Now, I know that dog's headed for the pound.
Yeah? Unc, if Mr. Peavy gets a lawyer, can we get a lawyer for the dog?
Well,
if that dog goes on trial, he's sure to win, 'cause nobody can look sorrier than that dog.
he's a sorry dog, all right.
He's a swell dog. Unc, why don't you and Mr. Peavy make up?
Well, I've tried, my boy.
Next time, try going in without the dog.
As far as I'm concerned, it's Peavy's move. If he doesn't value my friendship, I don't want his.
Oh, Unc.
Come to think of it, he hasn't much of a drugstore anyway. Not now, at least.
Mr. Gildersleeve, is it going to cost you much to fix the place up?
It only amounts to $3 or $4, Bertie. I told Peavy I'd drop around and pay him.
What did he say, Unc?
Well, he won't let me.
Oh, that's nice of Mr. Peavy.
No, he said he'd rather take the loss than have me come in the store.
Come on, Unc, let's call him up.
Now, Leroy.
I'll dial him and you talk to him.
Yeah, I doubt if he'll even talk to me.
Come on, I want you and Mr. Peavy to make up. You're fellow jolly boys.
Well...
Peavy's Pharmacy.
Go ahead, Unc.
Hello.
Peavy, this is Gildersleeve.
Well, I'm glad you called.
You are? He's glad I called.
I've decided to let you pay for the damage after all. $20.60.
Oh!
Stop pulling, dog. Oh, no, you don't. You're not going to break this leash. I hate to put a chain on you, but it's better than being locked up. Stop pulling. Heel. That's what you are, a heel. Chasing cats. Uncle gets into enough trouble without you. Let's sit down here on the curb. I want to have a talk with you. Why don't you behave yourself? Why do you have to keep running away from home? We feed you, give you a warm place to sleep, and you're not even grateful. Stop licking my face. I'm serious. If you don't want the dog catcher to get you, you better straighten up. Don't look at me like that. You're not that sorry. Well, maybe you're sorry. You're not such a bad guy for a dog.
Is that you, Leroy?
Hi, Miss Ransom.
I've never seen such a forlorn picture. A boy and his dog just sitting and looking off into space.
I've been giving him a lecture.
Oh?
Telling him about all the trouble he's caused. If he doesn't watch it, Mr. Peavy might get the dog catcher after him.
It wouldn't surprise me if Mr. Peavy sent the dog catcher after your uncle.
Yeah, he's pretty sore at Unc. Gosh, I'd sure hate to lose the dog. No, sit still, boy.
Oh, well, I don't think you'll lose the dog.
I don't know. I tried to get Unc and Mr. Peavy to talk to each other over the phone, and they got mad at each other all over again.
Leroy, I think this sfat's gone far enough, don't you?
I sure do.
I think it's time Leela brought a couple of gentlemen to their senses.
Oh, boy, would you?
You come over to my house about 3 o'clock. Your uncle and Mr. Peavy will be there.
They will?
I'll phone Mr. Peavy and have him make a delivery from the pharmacy. And then I'll call your uncle and have him drop by.
Oh, how do you know they'll come?
Leroy, you're just a boy. But I assure you, when Leela calls, they come.
Hi, Miss Ransom.
Leroy, you're a little early.
Yeah, I didn't want to miss anything.
I wondered who was at my back door.
Me?
Oh, come in.
Thank you.
I'm serving tea later. Would you like milk?
Okay.
Oh, that must be Mr. Peavy. I didn't want him and your uncle to arrive at the same time.
Heck no, you'd never get them in the house.
Excuse me, Leroy.
Sure.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Ransom.
Hello, Mr. Peavy.
Well, hello, Leroy.
Hi.
Come in, Mr. Peavy.
Thank you, but I'd better get back to the pharmacy. Here's your package of sundries.
Oh, yes. Would you mind bringing them inside and putting them on the table?
Well, they're not heavy.
I'll bring them in.
Leroy?
Oh, I get it.
Just take them in the parlor, Mr. Peavy.
Very well.
Now, let me see. If I can find my purse, I'll pay you.
Oh, I've already put it on your account, Mrs. Ransom.
Oh, well, I want to pay this in cash, Mr. Peavy. You just wait a minute. Oh, now, where's my purse? Everybody look for my purse.
Mrs. Ransom, aren't you holding it behind you?
So I am. I'm getting so rattle-brained. Gracious, I don't seem to have any money in my purse. Well, I guess I'll have to charge it after all.
Well, that's perfectly all right with the pharmacy. Yeah. Goodbye, Mrs. Ransom. Leroy.
You going? Mr. Peavy, before you go, would you do me a favor?
Oh, glad to.
Well, I've just been waiting for some strong man to come along and help me move my piano. I want to put it over on the other side of the room.
Way over there?
Well, let's try it there. And if it doesn't look right, we can move it down to the other end of the room.
Something told me to stay in the pharmacy.
I wonder who that can be.
Yeah, I wonder, too.
Excuse me, Mr. Peavy.
Very well.
Hello, Leela.
Throckmorton, come in.
Yeah, thank you.
Leroy and a friend of yours were just moving the piano.
Well, getting ready to sing?
I'm not singing with you.
Peavy, I didn't know you were here.
I'm just leaving.
Why, Mr. Peavy, you can't leave now.
Yes, I can.
Now, you just stop that pouting. You cute little old man, you.
Oh, my goodness. Let him go, Leela.
Now go and get good and ready.
Now, you two boys, just stop acting up.
Well...
Oh, stop growling, you big old bear, you.
Oh, brother, now I know what they mean by wrapping men around their fingers.
Now, where do you want the piano, Mrs. Ransom?
Oh, well, let's leave it right here since you two have made up.
Who's made up?
Not me.
I don't understand two old friends letting a dog and cat fracas come between them. Mr. Peavy, aren't you ashamed of yourself? Stop staring at your toes and answer me.
Right.
And you, Throckmorton.
Well, perhaps we should shake hands, Peavy.
Well, there's no use losing a good customer, I guess.
Put her there, Peavy.
Oh, boy.
Now everybody's happy.
Yeah, you're acting like a couple of jolly boys again.
You bet. Peavy, you remember those old Jolly Boy songs we used to sing?
I'm here to tell you.
Leela, sit down at the piano. Peavy and I'll show you how singing should be sung.
All right. What'll I play?
How about there is a tavern in the town?
No, Peavy. Yeah, how about smiles? We're all smiling now.
Well, I'm not hard to get along with.
Here we go.
There are smiles that make you happy. There are smiles that make you blue. There are smiles that steal away the sunshine as the sunbeams steal away the dew. Take it, Peavy.
There are smiles that have a tender meaning that the eyes of love alone can see.
All together now.
But the smiles that fill my heart with gladness are the smiles that you give to me.
Oh, by George, that was great.
was that?
No, I tied the dog up outside. I didn't want him running around chasing your cat, Peavy.
My cat's outside, asleep in the car.
Was asleep.
I'd better get out there.
Peavy, bringing your cat was a silly thing to do.
Well, even a dumb bunny ought to be able to tie up a dog.
Oh, here we go again. All right, let's hurry, Leroy. I'm sure the dog chased the cat back to the drugstore.
Gosh, Mr. Peavy took off in his car so fast he didn't even give us a ride.
Well, this would have to happen just when Peavy and I had made up.
What do you suppose he'll do if he catches the dog?
Well, I guess you couldn't blame him if he did send him to the pound.
Probably already called the police to come and get him.
Let's turn up the alley.
Yeah. Hey, look, Unc.
Uh-oh. Peavy's got our dog all right.
What's he doing to him?
Oh, my goodness. He's sticking a bandage on his nose. Peavy, what did you do to our dog?
Oh, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Are you going to send him to the pound, Mr. Peavy?
No, Leroy. The dog can come around here as often as he wants to.
Yeah?
But I doubt if he wants to.
Oh?
He finally caught up with the cat.
Well, that'll teach him.
The Great Gildersleeve will be right back. Next time you're shopping, pick up a pound of Kraft's new Parquet margarine. On the package, you'll see a truly remarkable offer. A chance to get famous Powers model nylon stockings at half price. They're 51-gauge, 15-denier nylons and guaranteed first quality. And you can get them for just 75 cents with the yellow end flap from a Parquet package. Get Parquet tomorrow, Kraft's delicious new margarine that spreads smoothly even when ice cold.
Floyd's at the piano already. Hello, Floyd. Peavy.
Hi, Commiss. Yeah, good evening, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Right, George. It took a good dog and cat fight to get the Jolly Boys together again.
How's the pooch's nose?
Oh, fine. I got the dog tied outside.
Where's the chief and the judge? Oh, we got all the good voices here. Let's start singing.
Oh, Peavy?
Sure, let's warm up on Old Mill Stream.
All right, great.
Here we go.
Down by the old mill stream, where I first met you, with your eyes so blue, dressed in gingham too. It was then I knew that you loved me true. You were 16, my village queen. My village queen. By the old mill stream. Yeah, by George, fellas, we never sounded better. Oh, my goodness. Good night, folks.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Willard Waterman. The show is written by John Elliott and Andy White. It is partially transcribed. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Lillian Randolph, Arthur Q. Bryan, Jack Meakin, Shirley Mitchell, Pinto Colvig, and Dick LeGrand. Musical compositions by Jack Meakin. This is John Heaston saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Be sure to listen in next week and every week for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Good cooks know that the fresher the salad oil, the smoother the French dressing. The fresher the cooking oil, the better the cake. And now Kraft oil is guaranteed to reach your kitchen as wonderfully fresh as it was the minute it was bottled. That's because Kraft oil, and only Kraft oil, is sealed with an airtight vacuum cap. Get Kraft oil tomorrow with confidence that it's the freshest oil you can buy.
Tonight, play You Bet Your Life on NBC.